Welcome back to Life the Wild Ride. Today is an exciting day after Tracy here has done a ton of work to this. So I was coating and sanding until she was happy with it. We're going to install this thing today. You excited?
Tired.
Try to get her to talk. Anyways, we have to do a couple things in order to do that. We got to put in a little more insulation back here, move the backsplash out of the way, do a little bit of prep work, probably going to do some pocket hole screws up to the bottom of the cabinetry to attach up to the cabinet top, to the countertop, and then we'll get this thing in place and start putting on the backsplash, and maybe even put the little shelf back here as well before we're done today. It's dark in here because it's drizzly outside, and of course, you know, we got the tint on the windows. Can't open the skylight because it's drizzly, and but we'll get some lights on here in a bit. Plan on doing quite a bit today, but probably going to break it up into a couple different videos. But I'm hoping to make installing this one video. Huh?
You gotta drill into my table.
Yes, we gotta drill holes. We gotta put, because you know, if it goes well today, we're also going to install the sink, faucet, and have all that put in too. But that'll be a different video because I suspect this is going to take us a while, because I'm not exactly sure when I do the shelf up here if I want to scribe all around this work here around the window so it's nice and tight. I might not, it's pretty close anyways. So, haven't decided yet. We'll see as we go, but stick around and we'll show you the process as we're moving through it and get this thing in place, complete, so we can then move on to something else. Alright, let's get to it. So we're getting some, well, I can see here, some pocket hole screws drilled in the cabinetry here to go up into the countertop. And we want to get one over here. Now, normally, you just take your pocket hole screw clamp the thing in place, and you're good to go. But obviously, in the corner here, how am I going to put this clamp on? Because I got a wall here. So I just got creative, and I have a just a regular clamp here, a wood clamp, and a pipe clamp. I just reversed this end of it. Now I do have one you can reverse both ends, but I had this one right here on the bus. I reversed this end of it, put it against here, and then on this side here, I just backed the screw off, pinching this against the corner, which now should hold this in place. I now hold it with my hand too here, but this will stop it from trying to walk every time I turn the drill on to get this pocket hole drilled. So we're going to go ahead and try and do that right now. So let's hope this works as planned. I got a pretty decent amount of pressure on this thing without going too crazy. So it's on there pretty good. Try to drill this in there. Seems to be working, but I'm leaning way over, so it's making it hard for me too. Now another thing I had to do, as you can see, the drill gun, when it's backed off, it's hitting my tank. So I preloaded it into the bit here and just left it drop back, then I can bring it up into it. So now that I'm done, I can just tip this way, slide my bit out, and then take this thing apart and see how we did. So where there's a will, there's a way. You just got to get creative. So in this case, I just reversed the clamp, was able to push that against the wall. Now I do know it's just barely going to catch the countertop back here. So knowing that it says that the bit's angled that way, you're correct. But every little bit's going to help, and it will help stop any rattling. And probably what I'm going to do is go into the closet on the other side and come in this way with one screw in the back here as well to make sure that this doesn't bounce around or jiggle back here. So we don't want any rattling countertop. Alright, so we have all of the holes drilled. We got the last piece of insulation up in here. We're now hopefully going to put this countertop in place for the last time and fasten it up underneath there. You ready, Trace?
Yep.
Ready to see all your hard work go into place?
Yes. Forever.
All nice and tight. So we'll be able to put more insulation here as well from underneath. But I want to get at least the first piece in here, and the next piece will go up tight against this and the backsplash, which will hold this tight in place. But I didn't want to try and put this full-size piece in after this is all together. So now I'm just going to go underneath and put pocket hole screws up in this thing so it is secure and in position. And then we'll start working on the backsplash. So we got the countertop all fastened down. It's in there really good. We're working on the backsplash now, and I'm just getting it set in place and we lined it up there and then drew a line on all of these uprights and trimmed them down to the proper height. Now I'm working on the outlet box, and this I don't want to mess up because I only have enough of this for this one and the other side, so I want to measure more than twice and get it right. And what I'm worried about is I only have so much room to work with, and I want to be able to put an outlet cover on the front. I'll hold this up, Trace. Yep. But I don't want to end it up like with the cover sticking up like this. You can see this thing is exactly pretty much the same height as this plate, as this backsplash. So there's no room for error here. And the bad thing is it's going to leave very little wood here and here holding this. So I'll probably add a piece back here to fasten this side too. This side will be fastened to this beam here. But once we cut this hole in it, it's a pretty big hole for what's left. You know, what's going to be left behind is very little. So, because this box will be coming through here. So that's what we're working on now, and we'll just see how it goes and show you the progress. Alright, so we just got the hole cut through here, and you can see from when I planned this way back to fit a full-size outlet, I guess my calculations were pretty darn close, because we're right flush here with the outlet box to the front, and of course, I don't know where the cover went, right here. That'll go on the front of this when we're all said and done. And it will be right centered perfectly in the back of the cabinets, and there's no extra room. We'll have a cap on top here, like a little shelf. So we just got to get this thing fastened in place, and then we can mount the backsplash in place, because we got to put the insulation back in there. There we go. The only thing I'm a little concerned about, and actually I think I left extra wire in the walls to pull up. I'll have to check that before I go too far, but I'm pretty sure inside the walls I left a little extra loop that can be pulled up so I can have plenty of wire to put my outlet in. But worst case, I can do it with this amount right here. This will work. As I said before, the counter is fastened down. We now have the outlet cut in and in position, and we have the backsplash on. We got the insulation back there, the three first pieces that will be doubled up. But this is what it's looking like so far. Now we need to find a board that's going to sit up here the whole length of it, and it'll stick out a little bit, creating a little bit of a ledge here, and that'll be kind of like the top of our backsplash, and you know, we can use it for whatever. But that's what it's looking like so far. I'm anxious to move on to get the sink in and all that stuff. What do you think so far?
Good. I'm muffling the sound.
Oh, you got the scanner going. Alright, we're going to see if we can find a board to put on the top right there. That's our next project. As you can see, Tracy's leaning on our new countertop. What do you think?
I like it.
So what's our plan now? Let me shut this thing off. Hold on.
I have no clue what our plan is.
What are we doing with the backboard?
You're going to putty it and sand it and poly
Oh,
it.
come on, show a little enthusiasm. People want to see you do, Trace. We just sat here and talked about what we're going to do.
No, you talked about what you're going to do.
Yeah, and you said you agreed.
And I
we
said,
talked.
okay.
Anyway, all right. So our plan is to fill this knot in with some putty, and that one too. We're going to let it dry, and then we'll sand the whole thing down. Or Tracy's going to sand it down, and then put the same coating on that as we have on our countertop. Once we obviously put the putty and stuff in there to fill that, that's going to dry before we can do anything with it. So we're going to be doing that next, and then wrapping up this video, and we're going to move on to putting the sink in and the faucet and that type of stuff next. But this is really starting to look nice. And this is I mean, it's not the best piece of wood, but it's tiger maple. So that's why, and it's just long enough that it's going to work for us. We're going to put another piece of tiger maple right here to finish off this edge. And we'll poly that at the same time. We forgot to do that ahead of time, so we're going to do that when we wrap this piece up. So it'll be all done. Then this really should pop out a little bit too. There's two different colors here. This is, it looks like poplar, but poplar doesn't have much knots in it, and this stuff is heavy. So I know it's got to be the tiger maple or something else. Maybe it's,
You can see it on
I don't think it's oak. No, I don't smell.
tiger maple.
Yeah, I think it is. Bob, if you see this video, let me know. It's very heavy. It's dense wood. I don't see as much of the tiger markings. I guess, yeah, I guess maybe we do a little bit. So I don't know. It varies, obviously, but it's gonna look nice, and it's gonna be our little backsplash cap here. And yeah, so when you stand back like this, once that's all done up, it's gonna look nice. And I was able to pull some extra wire up. You can see right next to Tracy there on one of them. The other one I got a little bit up, but that is now plenty for me to put the outlet in and the cover on. I noticed that outlet box, is that pushed back in there, Tracy? See how it's sticking out? It's fastened to the wall, so I don't know why it came out through like that. So I might have to fasten that different. I mean, I got it fastened to one of the studs that go up and down on the left-hand side to that stud right there. So anyway, we'll have to figure out if that keeps doing that. We'll have to do something, because I don't want that coming out. Because when you put the cover on that, that's going to still be able to push out. Because the cover only screws to the outlet, and the outlet screws to the box, which means it'll still be able to. So that's what we're going to do next. I'm going to find some wood putty, fill that in if I can. I think I have some wood putty. If not, I'll make up my own with sawdust, and we'll fill that knot in. I think this will give this board a little bit of character as well. And we're going to, we'll probably put something up there anyway. It's going to be behind the sink faucet, so.
Oh, curtains.
Yeah, there'll be curtains and stuff here. It's looking good. I like it. You like it?
I like it also.
You guys, I'm telling you, trust me, she's a happy person.
I am a happy
See,
person.
look.
And anybody that knows me knows I'm a very quiet person.
I know, but people on YouTube that follow us want to hear you. They've said it in the comments. The last video, someone says they're very happy that you're part of this build. How much of a part of this build are you? A huge amount, but they don't see you enough. You've done the painting, you've helped me build all these cabinets, helped me build this, you helped me put the tank in, but you're not in them very much, because you don't want to be. But they want you to be.
I'm not camera
You know, yeah, you're camouflaged. Anyway. Alright, everybody, comment on this video about how much you want to see Tracy in future videos. Yeah, it is.
No,
look.
it's not.
Yes, it is. Alright, we'll come back with you when we're puttying this thing up and see what it ends up looking like. Alright, ready to do that? I had to go find some wood putty. Alright, so I couldn't find any of my wood paste. I'm just going to go ahead and make my own here. And all I'm going to do is just take some pretty fine sawdust and add some wood glue to it, and we'll stuff it into these two holes here. Well, let's see what we can do with this real quick. Don't need that much. I can always add a little bit more if I need. Stick here. Hopefully it's lined up. Hopefully you can see that on the camera what I'm doing here. Right here. Just going to go ahead and make sure that's smushed down in there. Fill that hole right in.
Did you use glue and sawdust?
Yeah, I didn't have any wood paste. So, and then we're going to do this one real quick. And that's really all we can do with that. And I left it a little high so we can sand it down. Same with this one here. And once that's dry, we'll sand it down. Sand to give the whole thing. When I say we, I mean Tracy here is going to sand it down and put a coat of the same stuff that we put on the countertop here on that backsplash. And hopefully that really brings that out. Looks nice. So I guess we're going to close this video out here. Right? So not too long. And we're going to move on to the sink. Now hopefully the videos come out in that order. I apologize if they don't, because I think I'm back to having 4 or 5 videos ahead right now. So once you see this video, we did this probably 4 or 5 weeks ago. So hopefully I put them out in the right order. I apologize if I don't, because I'm doing videos on other channels as well. So I try to stay organized, but there's a lot going on around here. As you know, following this channel, Life the Wild Ride, you know a little bit more about the background of you know, our life here and what's going on. The other channels don't know that. So, anyway, thanks for swinging by. Have a great day. And remember, life is a wild ride.
I said it that time.
Yes, you did. Ever so quietly. Alright, guys. We'll see you in the next video. Which, hopefully, is putting the sink in. We're pretty excited about it. Aren't you? I can't wait to see what it looks like. Alright, we'll see you next week. Tripped over the light.